morning once again. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning. It's a beautiful day, really, especially if you're in the city of Ibadan. Wherever you are, we'd love you to tell us how it is wherever you're listening to us from. We'd love to know how you're doing, and we hope that things are going well, wherever it is you're listening to us from. Thank you so much for choosing us. Thank you for being... we need to come up with a name for our people who are constantly, great listeners, who are always supporting us, who are, who know that, when you want the best, you tune into Splash 105.5 FM. Don't mean to be cheesy, but hey, what can I say? I'm Ronke Giwa-Onafuwa. It's time to go beyond the surface, and today we're going to be talking about the intricacies of academic excellence. And this was brought on because, today, August 17th, our youths, our young people are sitting their WAEC. WAEC started this morning, and of course, wishing the very best to anyone who's sitting WAEC this morning, and hoping that you come out with flying colors. Let's hope that you put in the work, because it's when preparation meets preparedness that success is inevitable. Sometimes I see a lot of young people who are just hoping against hope that they're successful, and if wishes were horses, beggars would ride as well. Young people have had about 4 months at home, and I know it was obviously very daunting to be at home and not know when WAEC would actually, it seems like the proverbial, you don't know when Jesus will come, so it's hard to stay the course. But they've had about 4 months at home. Some of them apparently just thought WAEC was not going to happen this year again. But alas, here we are. Today, WAEC has started, and they're sitting their exams, and we wish you the very, very best. Let's hope that all of the preparation you put in place will definitely be worth it right now. All right, who best to talk to me about the intricacies of academic excellence than someone who has also distinguished herself academically, and generally when I see her, she's such a model. She's such a model, and I'm so glad to have her here this morning. She's a double first-class lawyer from the reputable University of Ibadan and the Nigerian Law School, respectively. She graduated as the best graduating student, Department of Private and Property Law, University of Ibadan, and was the recipient of the Best Student in Land Law Award in 2018. She was involved in politics, extracurricular activities, and was the Dean's and Vice Chancellor's Roll of Honors honoree during her stay in the university. She also became a recipient of the Director General's Prize for First Class in Nigerian Law School in 2019. Jesudunmo is also a content creator via her eponymous YouTube channel, the pillars of which are Life, Love, Law, and Light, where she creates valuable content for viewers. She refers to herself as a learning and creative enthusiast of many colors. Now, aside from YouTube, Jesudunmo is an event compare, public speaker, and the creative director of Letitia Azor, an event management firm. Jesudunmo, a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, is a passionate advocate for gender equality and justice for all. Her all-round excellence has led her to conferment with accolades such as Coca-Cola Bottling Company Certified Mentor 2018, a speaker, youth ambassador at conferences. She has been invited and honored several invitations to interviews and sat on committees for change. Jesudunmo Longe is currently an associate at MIDCO San & Co., a top-tier law firm in North Central Nigeria. She believes that we do not have to think within or without the boxes when the earth is sphere, I beg your pardon, and the universe, like your mind, is boundless. Good morning, Jesudunmo. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, Ma.
It is so good to... Can we drop the mask first and foremost? This is radio, so you should actually even call me wrong. Good to have you here. Let's drop the mask, okay?
Yes, Ma.
Okay.
Okay, Ma. Okay. Okay.
It is so good to have you here. Well done. I'm reading your profile, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you,
First class in UI and then first class in law school. All right, so let's start with, like I said, people are studying, writing their WAEC exams right now. A lot of young people. And I hope those who are not are listening. Those who don't have papers today, they started with maths today, so I know everybody's writing. I hope that young people are listening, because, sometimes I often have to show my children, people like you, to know that success is not something that, people that have it sort of have fire on their head. They're human beings just like you as well. So, tell us how you achieve. Let's start from when you were whilst you're in university, did you know you're going to finish with the first class? Was it something, because they often say, have the goal in mind or else, so did you know you're going to finish with the first class?
Well, I think I suspected, a lot of times you can guess from how you start out,
right,
how you end well, because it predisposes you to end well if you start well. Not that an automatic thing, but at a 100 level, when I got into school, the intention was not to start with a first class, was not to get a first class again. It was not part of my... I actually went to school with plans to, as in about politics. That was more of what I was interested in. But at the 100 level, when results started coming out, my set was the first set that results started leaking before, like, it was posted. So I got a lot of calls. But before then, 100 level first semester, I had my sister see some of my results and say, okay, Dumo, you're having a lot of E's. There is a very high likelihood that you're going to get a first class. At least your GPA for 100 level.
Yes.
You most probably have first class. So that was when I think some measure of intentionality got into play.
Right.
But before then, no.
Wow, you just went into school just to have a good education, and for you, it was just so... have you always been a, let me call you a smarty pants? Have you always been someone that's perhaps in primary school, secondary school, you've always been top of the class?
Yes, I technically, I would say, well, I have always been top of the class, but it didn't get as prominent as, well, there was no time I wasn't in top 5, let me put it like that. But since senior secondary school, it got serious. I think I got into secondary school because during common entrance I had the highest result, so I even got a partial scholarship into secondary school. So my dad, junior secondary school, I was basically chilling, super chilling. So I was still in top 5, but I wasn't like 8th in the class every time. But right before senior secondary school, I think my junior YA came out. It wasn't bad. It was actually a good result. I had quite a number of A's, but my father was not too impressed with it. It was like, this is not... You know that you can do far better than this. Like, this is not even the standard at all. And then I found out, because I had options, I could choose between any of the 3 classes. Back then, I don't know if that's how it is now. Art, commercial, and science class.
Yes.
I just said, okay, you know what, let me just do art class. So I finally decided that it was SS1, I think that, I mean, out of 12 courses, I think the only course I did not take I did not take first in was Yoruba and mathematics. Every single course.
Mathematics.
Even as Greek and biology, I was first.
Okay.
So even as an art student.
Right, which is odd because oftentimes when a child is brilliant, often parents think you must go to science class. So how is it that your parents were able to say, okay, well, arts is, because usually there's this misconception that arts is for those who are not that brilliant. So for someone who was top of the class and they allowed you to go to arts class, how did that play out?
For starters, my dad is a lawyer, so it's really plus my parents are not those kind of people. If you are, like I say, if you think if whatever you want to do, just succeed at it. Although my parents are very strict about formal education, if what you want to do or what you're interested in is outside the confines of the walls of a university, you would still have to go through the walls of a university. So, but in India, they just usually suggest as gently as possible that African parents suggest to you to do a professional course so that way you're not stranded post-school, or they do not enforce that you either go to commercial class or go to art class, or anyone you want to go to, they're fine with you going, as long as you know what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And I'm glad that we're started talking about your parents. That was supposed to be later, but it is a good thing because oftentimes parents don't know how to sort of, what do your parents do, would you say specifically, to ensure that you're also on this path for, academic excellence? What were some of the poignant and practical things that they did as well?
I mean, my parents always showed up for me. That's one thing. I when I hear students talk about how some of their parents don't even know what their last for secondary school was their last term result was. I mean, my parents were intentional about finding out. At the end of midterm, if you're coming home for midterm break, you're coming home with obviously a result. You don't just go inside and go and sit down. Okay, what happened?
They care about every subject, right?
Yes. They were actually, my dad was rarely ever around, like, because he used to get transferred a lot. But even when it was my grandmom that was home with us, if you come back with brown paper, she's opening the brown paper to read. She wants to see where they are read. She wants to see how many excellence. I used to get... So if something changes from the last term, how would you know that an improvement has happened, no matter how little, to encourage the child, if you did not even check the previous result, or if you wait till the end, like third term, how would you know if your child is on the right track to get a prize if you don't even know what she had in first term? You don't know anything about it. So, but basically, and my school had this commendation list. I think that was when a couple of parents used to start paying attention. Anybody who had 5 A's or 6 A's and above from SS1, you get pasted in school, and that would also be attached to your. So at a point, my parents, I think my grandmom stopped even checking my actual results. She just checked the commendation list. If I was at the top with like 9, they're okay, there's no point. So well done, that's all. But they were very intentional. Then I didn't lack anything, so I wasn't necessarily distracted by a need to eat or a lack. Because some people don't have that luxury. Some students have to work after school.
Yes.
So I mean,
so you had a loving environment to thrive and to blossom, and their parents were very present.
Yes, they were.
Okay, so those are two things. The parents who are listening, those are two things you want. If those things are things that you do not do and you're expecting, your children to be excellent, they don't have a loving environment where maybe there's a lot of abuse happening and then you want them to succeed, or you're not present, then those are definitely things that you want to step up on. But I wanted to also ask you, because oftentimes people think, you know how they say ability, not ability, that some people are just born gifted and just, and I was one of those when I was younger as well that felt that way, that the people that were brilliant in my class, they were born that way, Jerry. All of this one that they're telling us is just bobo. What is your opinion on that?
I think that nothing is impossible. And one thing I wish I said is I want to demystify the process for people coming after me. Like, no matter, I do agree that some people are like born smart. I think I've seen that like with my family, my last sister, she's studying law, so she's on the first class. So I know some families are actually very they are smart people. The same way some families have like certain genes
are talented with music. Some people are musical, some people are academic.
Yes. I mean, you have long eyelashes, something as random as that, and your child also has long eyelashes. So yes, I do know that. Like my mom used to talk about how she had a photomagnetic memory, and I think to a certain degree I inherited that. But the reality of things, I have friends that are not like that. They have realized that they are not like that. So they put in the extra work required and they become like that. It is not impossible. If I need long eyelashes, I will fix lash extensions. There are no limitations. You have to just ask yourself how bad you want it. I always tell people when they ask me, know yourself and to thyself be true. So at a point, when after the same 100 level I was in, my friends and I that used to play together, after our results came out in 100 level, my friends weren't anywhere near where I was. Both of them, my close friends, were on 2-2, I think, and that was really embarrassing for me. Over time, we got to get the hang of it, like, okay, this person doesn't have to do much or anything at all to get a certain. They will just, once the timetable comes out, or 2 weeks around the period they're hearing that timetable will come out, they started reading, they dumped me. It's that simple, and there were no hard feelings. So you just need to find out what works for you and do it. And I know that it feels somehow, it feels improper, it feels unfair that some people do not have to work as hard as some other people do. But there are things in your life that you don't have to work as hard for, but you do not just realize them because they are not graded for it.
So true. Wow, Jesudunmo. I'm going to take a short commercial break. I need you to hang in there. When I come back, I want to talk about, a few more things with regards academic excellence with her. So for those who are listening, please stay tuned. We're going to take a short commercial break and we'll be right back. We're talking about the intricacies of academic excellence, especially bearing in mind that I just started today and I'm talking to double first class graduate Jesudunmo Longe. And if you're just joining us, we'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
It's the Samsung Blue Tag Sale, Samsung's biggest sale of the year. Get up to 100,000 Naira instant gift pack on all Samsung smartphones and select Samsung TVs, refrigerators, air conditioners, and washing machines. Don't miss this great opportunity to get your favorite Samsung products with this unbeatable deals. So, what are you waiting for? Hurry now while stock lasts. Promo runs from 17th of August to the 6th of September. T's and C's apply. For more information, visit Samsung.com or call 0800 Samsung.
Hey, you're the Lumex line, yo. Lo àgbájọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ ògidì méjì inú rẹ̀. Ìlera dé, agbára dé, Lumex dé. Oh yeah, Lumex. Oríṣi méjì ni ẹ̀yà Lumex. Lumex. Olómi, oníhóró. Lumex. Bẹ́ẹ̀lúra, ìlera dé.
Àní ẹ̀yàn Atelumex oníhóró tàbí olómi láàyò àgbájọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ Artemita àti Lumefantrine ní láti iléeṣẹ́ Adla tó ń ṣe ògidì oògùn tí ò lábàwọ́n. Atelumex wà ní àwọn fámísì àdúgbò rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tápẹẹrẹ ibà tirẹ̀ kò bá lọ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ rí dókítà rẹ̀ fún àyẹ̀wò. Máa ka ìwé pélébé inú páálí oògùn rẹ̀ nígbà gbogbo.
A major part of being a parent is being present. Stay in the picture and be the parent you want to be with AXA Life Insurance Living Benefits. Free health check, loyalty bonus, cashback, and permanent disability covers. Call 0700 AXA Mansard today to speak to an AXA financial advisor.
Smooth, 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 smooth. Why the hell I do my thing? Smooth, 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 smooth.
Brewed longer for a smooth taste for Niger Kings.
Smooth.
Be a king.
It's the Samsung Blue Tag Sale. Samsung's biggest sale of the year. Get up to 100,000 Naira instant gift back on all Samsung smartphones and select Samsung TVs, refrigerators, air conditioners, and washing machines. Don't miss this great opportunity to get your favorite Samsung products with this unbeatable deals. So, what are you waiting for? Hurry now while stock lasts. Promo runs from 17th of August to the 6th of September. T's and C's apply. For more information, visit Samsung.com or call 0800 Samsung.
Ẹ̀tẹ́tí sí ìkéde pàtàkì láti ọ̀dọ̀ Natcom Development and Investment Limited tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú Entel. Àwọn ni wọ́n ní Nitel àti Mtel tẹ́lẹ̀. Ẹnikẹ́ni tẹ́ bá rí ní àgbègbè yín tí ó bá fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo jàǹbá láti kó wa ní wáyà, fuse àti gbogbo ohun èlò irinṣẹ́ Natcom, ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ kígbe olè lé wọn lórí nítorí rẹ̀ níbẹ̀ ó yẹ kó fi mú jófin kó sì fi ṣòkòtò pépé roko ọba. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ a kò fún ẹnikẹ́ni láyè àbí ní àǹfààní láti kó wọn, láti yọ wọn tàbí láti lọ kó gbogbo àwọn irinṣẹ́ yìí tà. Ẹnikẹ́ni tẹ́ bá kófìrí ní àgbègbè yín ẹ bá wa pe àwọn nọ́mbà wọ̀nyí 08044440777 tàbí 08044441981. Ẹ ṣeun. Olùkéde iléeṣẹ́ Natcom Development and Investment Limited.
Welcome back to Beyond the Surface on Splash 105.5 FM, the integrity station. We're glad that you joined us. For those who are just joining us, I hope is that somebody called you and said, oh, you need to listen right now to Splash, because if you perhaps have a child who isn't pulling their weight academically, you're wondering why, you've done everything. And I know a lot of parents are in that, quagmire where you feel like they're not pulling their weight. You're wondering, oh, you always ask them, the person that came first, do they have a big head? I mean, do they have two heads? And stuff like that. We've got someone who's, totally brilliant in the studio today. And it's not just because she's academically, successful, but she is a brilliant young lady. When you speak to her, she's amazing. She's a double first-class lawyer from the reputable University of Ibadan and the Nigerian Law School, respectively. She graduated as the best graduating student, Department of Private and Property Law, University of Ibadan, and was the recipient of the Best Student in Land Law Award in 2018. And today we're talking about the intricacies of academic excellence. Academic excellence simply is a demonstrated ability to perform, achieve, and/or excel in scholastic activities. Academic excellence has been identified with achieving high grades and superior performance. And I know it can be intimidating for those who feel like, she said so many apt things about how for some people it's easier to just achieve certain things. But I think that we all have something it comes easy for us. For some of us, I would admit, it's not academic, so we have to work extra hard. I'm sure you can relate to some of those, your friends, where you play, and she mentioned that. You all play together, but the next day, if it feels like they write the exam and they still do better than you, or you see them playing and you are there working hard and they still do better than you. She's spoken on that earlier on about how, some people are gifted, but, you can't say, because, some people are gifted, then you just, decide to give up. And I wanted to ask Jesudunmo, thank you very much for staying here with us. Are there times that you feel pressure, for example, pressure to continue to be number one, to continue to be great? Do you ever feel pressure? Oh, hello. Okay, just hang on a little. All right, are you still there? Okay, let's just fix that real quickly. All right, we've got Jesudunmo Longe on the line, and I'm trying to still. Are we connected? Oh, hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. I can hear you now. All right, so I was asking if you feel pressure. What kind of pressure do you feel sometimes, or if you feel any pressure at all? And if you don't, how come? To always, your first class. Are people looking at you as, after this what? Did you feel pressure?
Okay, right now in my life, do I feel pressure?
Yes.
Oh, well, to a certain degree, yes. Because, I mean, I get a lot of... some people have the luxury of not deciding. For example, if I tell people something like, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's a certain overwhelming expectation to practice law.
Yes.
For those, there's a separate pressure entirely to go into academia. I have random people messaging because I got interviewed on Punch. Then I had a horrid. It just opens up the fact that a lot of students are struggling. But aside the students that message me with questions, I have like people in academics sending me messages about masters, about scholarships, about a horde of several things. And I'm one person that learned that pressure is unhealthy. There is to a certain degree, there is good pressure, but it has to be pressure that motivates you, not pressure that tenses you up.
Yes.
Like, it has to be pressure that lets you see yourself, not pressure that makes you want to transform into whatever anybody wants you to be. And I know that right now I am open to exploring my options. I am always that person that is open to change, open to evolving. I refuse to be put into a box that people say, oh, this is the next thing I'm meant to do. Okay, what's happening tomorrow? And I'm like, you know what? I'm figuring out life out. I am young. Even if I'm 35, I am young.
Yes.
I know that about life. I am young, and when I'm ready to take the next step, I will. So I definitely feel a lot of pressure. I definitely feel a lot, especially because some of my friends that are like me already know that, oh, this next year I'm going to this particular uni.
Yes.
I'm like, nah, that's not for me. I'm not even bothered about what other people are doing at the moment. I'm encouraged by them.
Yes.
I can motivate them, clap for them, but pressure, once I see somebody that is a message, because the most fundamental people to me, vis-a-vis my parents, my family, they are not putting undue pressure on me.
Fantastic. So your support system is great.
Yes, I always think, like, a fundamental part of my life, my existence, is that I have a great support system. And if I did not even, well, there's a quote, no book, that's how people say it. I know they will still be there. So it's not about whether I know book or whether I'm making money or whether I know that my parents, my siblings, my friends are always there. So undue pressure, I try to keep myself in check.
That's fantastic. I wanted to take you back to when you talked about how everyone should do what works for them. You should have a system. Oh, first of all, I appreciate those who are listening or watching us live on Facebook. We thank you very much for tuning in and for being a part of this session. I wanted to go back to Jesudunmo when you talked about how everyone has to have what works for them. How does a person discover what works for them that helps them become academically successful? A lot of parents talk about how their children are not pulling their weight. Yeah, some people are in good homes, great parents who are supportive, but they're just not attaining that academic excellence. So how did you find what worked for you, for example?
Okay, I think for starters, we have to be very realistic with the fact that some people, there's a popular quote that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb, they will most probably fail. So the truth is, there are some people that are not particularly, everybody has something they are good at. But since we live in a world where the walls of the university or the walls of formal education, like you have to go to a certain degree to get to a certain point.
Right.
Parents have to be patient with their children. It doesn't, shouting or wondering. I had in secondary school, I had parents who would come and meet me and tell me, are you not looking at your friend? What's going on with your friend? Why is your friend not passing like you? And it was obvious comparison. That doesn't work well for children. I was the person, and it was also uncomfortable for me. I'm the person that people usually compare their children to. You just, parents need to get the back of their children. Just stop talking. Like, if you want to talk to your children, sit them down and speak to them for themselves. They will not know how to improve themselves if you keep comparing them to other people. Now, for children to know, okay, this is what works for me. Over time, I just discovered, okay, this was an easier method for me. If you know that bulk, looking at a particular course, it tenses you up when you see bulk. Start early. The bulk tenses you up. Start early. Some people can cram. I don't need to cram to pass. But some people are really good at it. I know friends that are good at it. And I do not even judge them for it because the system is not kind to you. It doesn't care that you would know it, but you don't know it in that particular moment. And I tell people, exams are not the true test. They might not be the true test of knowledge, but they are a pretty good test of knowledge. You leave examiners with no choice than to examine you. So if you know that examinations tense you up, you have to start from the beginning, from tests. Prepare super hard because the bulk will the likelihood of bulk being reduced at the time you're writing tests is high. So that way you get to read it the first time. If you know what you lack is motivation, look for a way to get motivated. If you know you get easily distracted, look for a way to remove every distraction. Some people read with notes. I feel like you should try everything possible and find out the one that works for you. It's better for children to start experimenting from secondary school because secondary school does not keep a track record from your first year, second year, and third year. But university is not so kind. So I do not advise people to start experimenting in their 100 level.
Right.
Because the best thing is to hit the ground running from 100 levels. So try and read with notes. People read with notes. If that doesn't work, some people do better when they read with other people's notes. Look for somebody that is kind enough to borrow you their notes, photocopy it, read that. Some people read with textbooks. Some people read with massive textbooks, complex textbooks, a volume of information that by the time they're writing the exam, whatever is left, as much as it was, they get to reserve as much as they can retain. Like I had a friend that had issues in 100 level, and when I talked to her, I found out that she used to steal out information for the lecturer. She used to think that some things were not necessary. I'm like, no, you need to know certain courses. You also need to know certain lecturers. If you see that a lecturer like the bulk, it is not your place to start dividing under what is necessary and what is not necessary.
Wow.
Plus, for some other people, it's their handwriting. For some other people, it is the fact that time burdens them, like they have issues with managing time. So at the end of the day, so they know it. It's not like they're as smart as any other person in that room, but they do not have enough time to write down what they need to write down within that period of time. So for somebody like that person needs to practice and practice and practice with time. I had a friend, by the time we were writing bar finals, she used to finish our old video that was actually 45 minutes in less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
I never had issues with time, but I never practiced with time. But somebody that had issues with time from the scratch practiced so much with time that it was better than every other person in the room with time. So you need to find what works for you and if you don't find what works for you, ask people what works for you and try it for yourself. If it doesn't work for you, keep trying, do not stop, do not give up. Because once you're in school, you're in school, and school doesn't wait for anybody.
Absolutely fantastic, Jesudunmo. That's amazing, and that's practical. That is so practical, and it is like what you said was don't wait until you're in university, because what we hear is, like you said, you need to hit the ground running. Because your first year, a lot of people think, universities, their time to be wild and free, but the first year apparently is very, very important on how you're able to find your footing. And so the first year it can make or mar the rest of your GPA as you go along. And in this day and age, a lot of people, I think, the reason why a lot of young people don't pull their weight when it comes to academics also is because they feel academic excellence doesn't guarantee a successful life. If I'm not academically successful. And we've seen people who have done that. So what do you think about that? Does academic excellence guarantee a successful life?
I don't think it guarantees you a successful life, but it predisposes you to a successful life. Now, it depends on what you want to use with it. You don't want to come out of university owing the world in debt, trying to prove yourself along the way. I know how many compliments I get. I know how many conversations are kick-started just because of my result. I tell people, if you're going to shut people off for a particular reason, my mom always says that if you're going to say this person is not qualified for a particular, don't give them a reason to disqualify you. You don't need it. I mean, if I decide tomorrow, my dad always says, if you decide tomorrow that you're not going to practice, nobody will say it's because you did not know book. Nobody will say it was because
you couldn't. Absolutely.
Yeah, it enables you to keep as many options as possible open for you. For example, there are very few scholarships in the world that I will not be entitled to right now. But I have friends that want to actually follow their education and they are ready to do that now, but they do not have access to the same amount of opportunities that I have. You don't want that. You don't want to be disadvantaged. I tell people, if first class does not give you extra staircase, it definitely does not give you a hole in the ground for you too. It fills up that space in the hole and gives you a little edge over others. And some people will say, okay, what about now that a lot of people are getting first class? At least be among those a lot of people in course that are getting the first class. Don't be among the other people, if you can. I'm not trying to judge anybody.
Yes.
People have different situations in their life. But if you have the opportunity to try, just try.
Wow.
Just try. Plus, especially if you went to a Nigerian university that is stressful, in quotes, especially public institutions, sometimes it's really not, employers sometimes do not do it as a test of your knowledge per se, but as a test to thrive in odd situations. Work environments are not the nicest environment. So if you can work it out in university and come out with good grades, there's a likelihood that you're able to work it out through stress of life.
Wow, fantastic, Jesudunmo, awesome. I mean, I know you have to be in court in a few minutes, so I'm not going to take your time. I wish I could keep talking to you because there's so much to learn from you. You're such a great role model, and we are so proud of you. I am personally proud of you. So keep flying the flag, keep flying the flag. And I mean, I'm just really proud of you, and we wish you the very best from here on. I think I'm just going to let you go so you can focus on going to court. Are you practicing at the moment, and is this something you want to, or you're still trying to figure out what you want to do?
I'm definitely practicing at the moment. I don't think it's wise to be figuring things out, sitting down. You should figure things out while in a certain space.
But no pressure.
So that's wiser, yes.
Yes, no pressure.
Oh
I know you have a YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
And you're sort of like a gender activist as well.
Yes, sir.
So well done. Well done for speaking on behalf of us women. And you do a great job as well. What's your YouTube channel?
My name is Jesudunmo Longe.
Oh, Jesudunmo Longe. So we can find you activisting on YouTube. Thank you so much, Jesudunmo, for giving me time and talking to me this morning.
Thank you for
on the show. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, all right. I have been talking to double first-class graduate, first from the University of Ibadan and then the Nigerian Law School. And she graduated as the best graduating student, Department of Private and Property Law, University of Ibadan, and was the recipient of the Best Student in Land Law Award in 2018. I mean, she's made such, poignant points, for parents and for young people as well. So if you're a young person, you're listening, there's a lot to learn from what she said. If you're a parent as well, you have a part to play. You can't just say, your children must excel academically and you're not factoring certain points. She made the point about how not everybody's going to come first. I know parents like to lie about every parent came first during their time, but if we're honest with ourselves, then we know that not everybody's going to come first. There's some things that just are just part of genes, and so your children, maybe fishes, not birds, and if you're putting them on a tree to fly, you're setting them up for failure. So, and also, are you creating a conducive atmosphere for them at home? You being abusive, you're shouting, you're yelling, you're comparing them to other people and you expect them to thrive and to excel. That may not be the case. I'll open the phone line for a few minutes before I go. I want you to talk on this as well. Wherever you are, call in and talk to us about this as well. If you're a parent, perhaps maybe you're struggling one way or the other, or you want to say something to our guest today. Like I said, she's a lawyer in the North Central. She's all the way so, but I'm glad I had the honor to call her in and she had time to talk to me today. All right, so you can call us real quickly on 0809 155 1055 0809 155 1055. Let's talk for the next 10 minutes or thereabout about academic excellence. Hello, good morning. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ronke.
Hello, Reverend Koye. Good morning.
I really enjoyed that segment.
Thank you.
And I bless that girl. God bless her wherever she is.
Amen.
May she continue to fly.
Amen.
She has done her parents proud.
Mm-hmm.
She has done her teachers proud. She has done her nation proud. What I'm concerned with most is as it regards parents, we parents. Children cannot just attain academic excellence without encouragement from parents. And how we drive our children matters. I'm so happy listening to her because actually some of the things she echoes are what I've always believed. And they are my vision for my children. And I'm so happy they excel in their own way too. Parents out there should know that let's say 40% of encouragement must come from them, giving them convenient atmosphere to study, rewarding their excellence in no matter what, little way, promising them things that will encourage them to have a pursuit, counseling them as needed. And above all, we are in a power problem society. I was teaching some parents some time ago about encouraging their children. Nothing is as good as providing, even if it's just, I better my neighbor generator for your children to study. I don't put on generator for my children to watch football or to watch television.
Right.
Anytime the television and the generator is on, is for them to have at least 2 to 3 hours study. And within that time, we charge our phone, we do everything. you must monitor them from time to time. The bulk of encouragement lies with parents. A child that, in fact, I don't believe there is a child that that cannot really excel. I don't believe so. It depends on the kind of encouragement parents give them.
True.
And above all, I spoke about food, giving them good nutrition, giving them food, giving them provisions, giving them pocket money, giving them ability. We complain about some of these children that go after aristos and all sort of. I blame their parents. Why will my child be looking for somebody just for the fun of giving her money or giving him money? You see, I blame their parents. If you have given your child enough and you have taught her contentment, she won't derail from the path you have given her. So I want our children to be up and doing. And I want us also, like I said sometimes ago in your program,